Hey, what's up?
Happy Merry Christmas Eve.
I know, right? Holy crap, it
It
came fast.
did really fast.
Shoot, I didn't even set up the phone. My
That's all right.
bad. I'm failing tonight.
Okay, we can just look at my really cool
Lots of stuff to do.
sweatshirt right now. I got this for us a couple years ago
Oh yeah, I did. Oh
for
shoot, I should have put
Christmas.
on the red one. I didn't put on the red one, but
It's
I,
our
I
holiday
definitely.
ugly sweaters, which is super cool.
I know the baby has a cool one. He's got
Marvel.
yeah,
hmm
that's awesome.
Loves it, but it's so funny because he has his Sonic Christmas underneath, and it has a collar, so like it looks like he's all dressed fancy in his holiday PJs, and
I know he's so cute.
it's
Yeah.
cool though. It's all good.
um. All right, you can. I think you can throw up the number now.
Yeah,
It should work.
I got you.
Craziness today.
I know. I can't believe that it's Christmas already. It went by so fast.
Such an awesome weekend.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely want to love on a buddy of mine.
Go
Um,
ahead. Love all the way.
okay, cool,
Go ahead,
because
love.
I really want to. It was so fun to. I don't know. I don't. Not even sure really how it happened. I think I just shot my shot. Right, like we were texting, and then I was watching his. I'm talking about Sevon. Got to say his name. Got to say his name.
So,
Um.
but don't say it too many times. Is that Beetlejuice, right? You say it
Oh
too
yeah,
many
he
times, he'll
pops
just
up.
show up in your. What's up?
Oh, oh man, dude, Jeffrey, I'm so sorry. I don't know. We tried to make you.
I don't know. He might have to accept it or something like that. I put him on as a moderator, so I
Yeah,
don't know if there's something that shows up that gives you permission, but we'll try to figure it out. So,
if there is, let us know. Oh, you
okay.
are? Oh, okay, cool. Good. Oh, maybe we just can't see it.
Yeah, because the
We
other
can't
Jeff.
tell.
No,
Okay,
the
cool.
other Jeff. That looks like he is. So that's cool.
All right, awesome.
Super cool.
It
Well,
was fun. We've
welcome.
never
That's
tried
pretty
that
cool.
before. Yeah, so that's another one that you let us kind of practice. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Um. So yes.
So yeah,
Sevon.
I mean, if you're any of my friends watching that aren't CrossFit nerds, then Sevon is he's just one of the you're the best dude. Um, Sevon is one of the is well, I mean, he is the father of CrossFit media in my opinion. And we were just texting the other night after I'd watched one of his shows, and he said that he didn't have anybody to go on with him. I was like, so I was half kidding, half serious, like, hey, I'll come on with you if you want, if you're lonely, like whatever. And he was like, yeah, and then shot me back like three different things. And I was like, okay, let's go, let's do it.
mm-hmm.
And so that was really fun. Um, I it, it, I enjoyed it a lot. It was really good, practice for me, and um I appreciate him giving me the shot to do it. So that was really cool.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like people feel like they can't just ask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's you ask a question, like a yes or no question, and it's either gonna be yes or it's either gonna be no. And it's okay if it's not a yes. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
think for you it was like
Yeah. If
let
you
me because from what how you explained it was like you heard him say he had nobody. And in a way it's like, I need a friend,
yeah,
so then you were like, hey, friend,
I'm off
I'm
tomorrow.
I'm
I don't
off
have to work.
tomorrow
Yeah.
if you want to chat. And he was like, and then he said, let's do it, and he was like, yeah, let's absolutely do it. So it's one of those things. If he was like, nah, I appreciate it, but I'm good
Yeah.
or
Also, that would have
whatever,
been fine too.
it would have been fine too,
But
you
he
know?
was super cool and, gave me the shot at it. So I do appreciate that.
You were also super chill. And that goes back to just the fact that you practice all the time. We practice all the time,
Try to.
you know? It's just getting
Um,
more comfortable being on screen. So you
yeah.
did good.
Yeah. And not worrying about what you say too. I mean, there's some things that I could say that I might be wrong and it might change my mind.
Mhm.
And I might be like, oh, I messed up.
Mhm.
And that's okay too.
Yeah.
And I'll figure it out later.
Yep.
But and then we had so much fun today because this trailer came out.
I got it. Let me share it.
Yeah,
Ha.
put it up because I asked him and he said, well, I mean, he laughed at me because I asked him if I could put it up.
It's
And so I'm
so good.
assuming
It's
that it's
so
okay, but
good.
it's so good. I
I
couldn't
should
help
make sure I
myself.
do this.
Yeah.
A short-ass cameraman going above and beyond? I knew in a moment it must be Savan.
What about the Kim? Let's flip the whole thing around. No? Okay.
And more rapid than eagles, his team all came as he shouted on Souza in each member's name.
She told you to put your big boy panties on and go talk to her.
Really?
Yeah. She asked if you were scared of her.
What did you tell her?
Probably.
And so to their cameras his team soon flew with hard drives full of space, and Savan did too.
I'm gonna have to memorize
She asked
faces.
Mariah, like, are you here because Savannah doesn't dare to come here? And she said yes.
But I just went over there and I bought some big boy panties.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I
you
just-
need those.
And I just put them on.
Good. Yeah, go find someone else to bother now.
I love that.
Down the stadium steps he came with a leap and a bound. He was dressed in his jorts, and his man bun was round.
$1,000 to whoever cuts his man bun off first. You see all these people converging on him.
He spoke endless words and went straight to his work, reminding the athletes that he wasn't a jerk.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even see the man behind the fucking camera. This is silly. This is the quietest you've ever been.
I grabbed my butt yesterday. I knew you loved me.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, he's just standing there filming. I'm just holding. And he's not even breaking camera.
I'm trying to get myself into the fight, so on.
Yeah. Chose.
A push on record, into grief he goes, then giving a nod up the stairway he rose.
That's what was missing last couple of years. Like warm up here and behind the scenes. So yeah,
Brother,
super nice to meet
I
you.
heard him exclaim as he rode out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Holding this big head is really, I'm very proud of it. You nailed it. I actually don't feel any, people are like, oh, I feel so humbled by it. I don't feel humbled by it. I feel proud. Like I worked so hard the last 2 years. I didn't know what the outcome would be. I didn't know if it was going to be, I didn't know what the outcome was going to be, but I'm very proud of the outcome.
Yeah, super awesome. And Jeff, yeah, you're right. I was gonna tell this story too. So he put that out to all of his loyal followers and listeners and friends and anybody who felt like, to texted him, who, watched the show, whatever. And literally everybody simultaneously he sent the trailer to, and we all put it out around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 11:30 this morning.
Yeah.
And there was a moment in time. I think Souza showed it on the show today. There was a moment in time where my entire feed was nothing but people who had put up the trailer. And it was unbelievable.
Yep.
The power of that.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing I've ever.
That's community.
Yeah. That really does show community.
That's community. Again, going back to kind of how we started this whole conversation or whatever, just asking, hey,
Yeah.
Can you share that? Cool. Yeah, no problem. It takes 2 seconds.
And the people that showed up and showed out for him.
Yep.
I mean,
we all have been waiting very patiently for it, just to say.
Yeah. Because we all watched the originals.
Yep.
If you like CrossFit at all,
Yeah.
you've seen something that he put out.
That's how we all, most of us found it.
Yeah.
Or fell in love with it and loved the movies and loved the, when they would do small,
the behind the scenes was the best.
Yep.
How would you ever, and I forget the name, if anybody knows the name of the dude that was in the jean shorts behind the scenes at regionals.
Oh yeah.
And he was snatching in jean shorts.
Yep.
That was the greatest content. Like, it was just so much. You just got to know the people that were doing it. You got to know the people that were trying. It was awesome.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And
because I also feel like that one of the things that I have always felt like is Savon's strength, and I would never take this away from him, even jokingly being like, oh, I can't listen to him talk sometimes. I've gotten better. He's
Hog
growing.
talk. I know you don't like hog talk. I said that.
He's growing on me, and I actually do listen to him more now than anything.
I know you do.
But the fact that there's something about him. I mean, and I think you said it, and I think seeing him with you on the first podcast that you did, and how. Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
God,
You're right.
he's
Ronnie Teasdale.
So good.
I know. He's
So good.
He's the brains.
On your first podcast that you did with him, and the fact that it was such a personal, raw, vulnerable conversation, somehow he got you to feel comfortable enough to share as much as you did.
Yeah.
And I think that he has that presence about him. And I think that he has that energy about him. I think that, again, for the biggest part of why I think some people don't like him is because his delivery is not always well in a public conversation, I guess you can say. And I can only speak from that because I've obviously never had like a personal conversation with him. But his delivery is not always the greatest. However,
for you specifically, like for those people, like
Yeah.
there's some people that specifically his delivery is not for you.
exactly.
But
Exactly.
I mean, he's not that dude. You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
now most of them I'm like, oh, fucking, they're hilarious. You know what I mean?
Then you start running around talking shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
But there's something about, my point being is that there's something about him that he makes people feel comfortable enough to get vulnerable with him.
yeah,
And I don't know what that is, and I don't know how he does it, but all of the behind the scenes, even that when there were people that didn't really want to talk to him, even when there were people that like were controversial in the space at that time, somehow in some way he was still able to get them to engage and talk about something.
yeah, he has that it factor. He has that trust factor.
Mhm.
And like just so I would say this. He does there's a playfulness to him and just a genuine energy to him that's needed and is missing
Mhm.
in the community right now. And he's cultivated, and I say this all the time, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. He's cultivated a community that rides for him.
Yep.
And if you don't want to be in that community, that's fine because you were triggered by something that he said. That's fine, but it it's very hard to get that anywhere else. And right now, I would say it's very hard to get it in the CrossFit community itself.
Yeah.
And he's doing something. I mean, he even started he's going to do something for the open where he's going to do the open and he's going to reward the affiliates that has the biggest amount of like people who sign up from that
Yeah.
affiliate. He's going to reward those affiliates. He's not doing that because CrossFit is like, hey, if you do this, I'll help you out.
Right.
He was on with Gabe from Paper Street Coffee today, and he was explaining it. And
Yeah.
he's not doing that for his own personal gain. He's doing it because he loves CrossFit and he wants to see CrossFit succeed and work. And no one's giving him.
He
He's
still
not getting
believes in the roots of CrossFit,
Yeah.
which is that it's curing.
the world's most vexing problem.
Yeah.
And he's not getting an attaboy for that.
No.
No one's patting him on the back. No, the people
Not
that
from CrossFit,
No.
but
or the people that should be patting him on the back.
yeah.
But that's okay. You don't want to get involved with him. He's too whatever for you.
Yeah.
That's fine, but he's moving the space along.
And
And
he's still welcoming you to jump on board.
he said,
You know what it is? He's blunt
yeah,
and to the point.
and it's refreshing.
And not many people
Like that, yeah.
like that. It always used to be one of my favorite shows, in case you didn't know, was the Golden Girls. And that's one of my favorite shows.
Really? We didn't
Yeah.
know.
And one of my favorite scenes is when Rose is trying to tell a story and Dorothy goes, are we going to land this plane? Are we just going to circle the airport? Or are we going to land this plane? And when you really learn what that is, it's so freeing. And like you said, it's so refreshing.
Yeah.
Like if you want to talk about something, just get to the point. If something is bothering you, just get to the point.
Land the plane.
If you need something, just get to the point. What do you need? And then all the rest of the conversation can come after that. But like, get to like, what is the point of your question? What is the point of your concern? What is the point of, whatever? And I think that that's not for everybody.
And I'm not saying if you just genuinely in your heart of hearts don't agree with him and you don't want to jump on, then don't.
That's cool.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But
he's still doing good work.
Yeah, to say he's not doing something good for the community, for people in general. He said something else today too that it just resonated with me so much. He built his own platform up to go out and help other people with their platform. He's the most generous dude ever. However you want to look at him, you can't say that he's not.
Yeah.
It's undeniable.
Yeah.
And Gabe's story to me was just awesome. He just believed in Sevon. Sevon just believed in Gabe. Together, they have made something that they probably wouldn't have been able to do alone. And for me, that's freaking powerful.
That's everything.
And so to just try to take away a guy's livelihood, to try to just because you don't agree with something that he says, you don't know him.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate.
Yep.
So, but no, and to get in again, it was a really good weekend. So we had that. We almost broke the internet. And then I heard the Gabe story, which was now I'm gonna have to go. I mean, New Jersey's
we're actually gonna go to Jersey.
Yeah, we might have to.
Just to go get coffee.
Yeah, that his facility.
We got to see what it's close. We'll go take the baby to go do something down there.
It looks amazing.
Let's try to sneak away for
February. And then
break.
we have to kind of go see Jethro too. I've been meaning to do that too, to go.
He's up island.
Yeah, he opened. Someone asked me about him. I know, and I want to go. I'm a lazy Eastern Long Island person that doesn't like to go across the bridge. But
no, not anymore. Now that we all work 5 minutes from home.
I know. But yeah, I got to go see CrossFit Chief Nation too. And work out with him and see him. I mean, I don't think I can lift as much for as long. That moderate weight might suck for me right now, but I think I can still throw it down a little bit.
Listen, 85 pounds used to be my favorite weight for so many things.
95 was mine.
That shit's gonna hurt so much. I don't even think I could do an 85-pound snatch anymore. That used to be my bread and butter when I got really good at snatching.
Yeah. No, so yeah, we got to do that. And then the other cool thing that happened was that we got some comments on the video that Jeff and I did about reparations and whatnot, which I thought was probably kind of my most what you got, Jeffrey? Where do I gotta go? Go to Amityville and hang out. Dude, Amityville's listen, we used to have to play Amityville in basketball when I was in high school, and it used to
scare the shit out of you,
freak me out every time. I'm okay. Well, I mean, I might be okay now, but I haven't been in that area in a minute, so I'm gonna have to see if I can do it. But every Halloween I'll give it a shot though.
Right. Touchy subject.
Amityville. Amityville. Have you seen the Amityville horror story?
No, girl.
You've never heard?
No, I've been with you this long. We've never gone there. You always just stay away from it.
Oh man, yeah. It's I'm a little superstitious, a little creepy, but yeah, I'll take you, whatever. I forgot what
comments.
Oh. Yeah, we had some comments on the video that Jeff and I did, which I kind of thought was our most or at least my most controversial video. And we had one dude commented a couple of really good things that hopefully I'll be able to get in touch with him and try to find out what he's talking about, because I would really like to know what those were. Oh, surprise guest, our kid. But so that was really awesome. And then kind of just being able to relax a little bit this weekend and made it more fun. And I definitely, I know that I texted Savon and just thanked him for making life a little bit more fun with everything that's going on right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, you did great.
It was very
You did
fun.
really, really good.
And also like making me think about things. Like I feel like there's you have to find people in your life that challenge you, that make you think about things in a different way. And he's one of those dudes, and now I have a couple of those dudes that I hang out with that I want to, hopefully one of them will come on next week. That should be fun because he and I don't, I like my critical thinking now is a little bit different than his critical thinking, but we've been friends for a really long time. So hopefully that should be a fun conversation between him and me. But
Yeah.
I think you have to do that. I think you have to. I had somebody ask me the other day, like, why do I read the New York Post? Because it's a more conservative paper. And it's like, at first I was reading it because I just wanted to know what the other side thought. And then it became, so now I have to read the Newsday because it's a more liberal paper. So I know what the other side thinks. So I think that's super important to do.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're going to be able to survive in our society, I think being open to different perspectives is the way that we're actually all going to be able to come together and survive. You know, again, I don't have to agree completely with what you say. You don't. You can believe what you believe. You can say what you say. You can live your life and, you know, politically wise, like vote who you feel like is going to be the best for your family. That's fine. There's no issue unless you start intruding on things that could potentially be a risk for myself, for my family. Then there's that more of that conversation. You know what I'm saying? And like again, I don't have to agree with you, but that doesn't mean that I have to be an asshole to you either.
Yeah.
I just don't agree with I don't agree with this on this specific topic, or I don't agree with this, or you know what? I used to think that way, but now I'm actually like listening to different conversations and being like, oh, okay, I've never heard it that way before. Oh, I could see it from this perspective. Again, doesn't mean that I necessarily agree wholeheartedly, but I can at least stop for a second. And
I started to flirt with this idea on Friday of the fact that and I'm working it out in my head, but I feel like we all want the same things. And you can just take CrossFit, right? I feel like we all want the same things for CrossFit. We're just our ideas of how to go about it are different. And I think that's kind of the same thing when it comes to whatever other topic you want to bring up, whether it's reparations, whether it's transgender ideology, whether it's racism, whether it's, I feel like we all want the same things for the most part, right? I mean, there's outliers that are horrific and terrible, but for the most part, I feel like we all want the same things. We just feel like the way to go about getting those things are different. And that's what we're fighting over right now. And instead of fighting over it, talking about it might be better. You know, like just listen, because maybe half of what I say and half of what they say together would get us there. But no one's willing to, it's just, you have to do this and you have to agree with me. And this is, and it's like, nah, man.
Yeah.
No. And so I'm kind of trying to like work that idea out in my head but I'm starting to really think that that's the thing. We're all trying to get to the same place, mostly just us regular people who are trying to just go about our daily lives, or just trying to get to a healthy, happy place. And we're all trying to do it. We just have different ideas of how to get there. And the extremists are making it very difficult for us to have conversations on how to get there. And of course, driven by money and big pharma and all kinds of weird things that people, whatever. But
it just always makes me think of this whole concept of like being right.
Yeah.
Like I need to be right.
Fight to be right.
Yeah. I need to be right. So in order for us to get along, I have to be right and you have to be wrong. And so there's always that right or wrong.
Yeah.
Like if I believe that my feelings are right, that must mean that your feelings are wrong.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. Just
Yeah.
because I don't agree with you, I'm not saying that your feelings are wrong. I'm just saying it doesn't align with the life that I'm living and the beliefs that I have. You know, we all want to be able to walk around and have our beliefs in religion and politics and
Charlie Brown.
Hey,
stop.
Sorry, our dog's here licking right there. You
My
know,
man.
we all want to be able to walk around and in the US, which is a free country, believing what we believe.
Yeah.
In religion, in politics, in, you know, human rights, women's rights, children's rights, you know, whatever, workplace, wages, all of this type of stuff. We want to be able to believe all that type of stuff. But what happens is that when you have people that are like, well, it has to be this way. It has to be this way. And if it's not this way, then it's wrong.
Yeah.
That's a very hard argument to have if you're constantly just trying to be right. And you lose people too. You lose people, you lose friends, you lose family that still want to be in that mindset. And how can you possibly think this way? Is usually what the conversation is. How could you possibly think this way?
Yeah.
If
And
it's different than theirs.
it's a holiday weekend, so this is kind of fun. I heard we'll use CrossFit as the example, right?
Yeah.
Because I have my own feelings about CrossFit and how CrossFit's moving and shaking right now. And you know, I was talking to a friend of mine, and you know, my feeling about it is I miss Greg Glassman, right?
Mhm.
And there's this whole controversy surrounding, you know, whether he had the choice to sell. Whatever you believe, you're just all in on Greg or you're not all in on Greg. And I'm a little more towards the I'm all in on Greg and bring Greg back. And I'm sitting on pins and needles. Is he going to, you know, when his non-compete is up, is he going to rep somebody else and be kind of the godfather behind the scenes, just moving and shaking and whatnot? And a friend of mine, I have another friend of mine who's really big into CrossFit and really, really big in the space. And hopefully I'll get her to talk about this eventually, but she is like, hey, it's over. It's done. Greg sold. He left. He's doing other things. It might have been worse if Greg had kept it, because we don't know what would happen. At the time, he was like letting everybody go, kind of moving away from the games, going right to CrossFit Health. So we don't know how it would have been if Greg had kept it,
Mhm.
right? We're reactionary right now, where we're so like, oh, I don't like what's happening right now. Would have been better under Greg.
Because nobody likes change.
And she's like, we don't know that. We don't know that. You know, we're all, most of us, a lot of us are like, yo, bring back Pukey, bring back, you know, all the dirty, grimy, gritty things that made CrossFit, you know, what it was. And I absolutely believe in that. I like it. Bring back Pukey. That was the fun thing. You all sweat together. We all, you know, couldn't finish the workout in a certain amount. You know what I mean? Like you suffered together. You were cheering for the person that couldn't finish. And that was, and now for me, what I'm seeing is the culture changing in gyms and boxes. And it's like, oh, I don't want this new. It feels like it's now becoming a participation trophy thing, right? There's half of them want participation trophies and the other half are OGs that, yo, your wall ball is not to depth.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. I'm kind of trying to, again, I think everybody wants CrossFit to move to a direction that is just happy and healthy and does what it's supposed to do and what Greg made it to do, which is cure chronic disease and, you know, teach you how to live a healthier, happier, stress-free life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's fighting each other. And again, I don't think it's moving in a direction where they're talking about it. They're just, hey, the way that I'm going to do it right now is right. And the other side is like, hey, the way you're doing it is freaking wrong. Mm-hmm. And they're not talking about it to bring it back together.
Yeah.
So there's two factions. And I've talked about this before too. I feel like there's two sides. There's two sides in media there's two sides, CrossFit HQ and OG CrossFitters. It's just, and there are some people that are trying to bring us together, and then there are some people that are like, that side sucks, you suck, they suck, the Knicks suck, Yankees suck, Mets suck, you suck,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing's getting heard or done about it. So
when we first found CrossFit, the one thing that comes to my mind is that it was proof that anything was possible. And I'll give you an example. The video that you sent me, little backstory, you got in an accident, you had to have surgery, and you have limited function.
Well, I have atrophy in one, like you
and
can tell the
limited
difference
function.
between one hand and the other.
Yeah,
hand.
limited
Like
function in your right hand.
Yeah.
Making it very difficult for you to do certain things. And at one point being told that you couldn't do a lot of things. And I remember you going into the CrossFit gym. I mean, granted, we had a really good coach. It was a lifelong friend of yours that you had known and trusted and whatever. And we went and you just did CrossFit as he showed it to you, and he coached you, and you just did it and followed the standards and followed what he was giving you. And I'll never forget the video that you sent me of you climbing a rope.
Yeah.
Climbing all the way up.
Yeah, I couldn't grip.
15 feet? Was
it
15?
Yeah, it was RX.
It was an RX rope, 15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And because
that video is still up somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, because before you couldn't grip.
Nope.
There were certain things that your grip strength was
I needed grips. I needed the barbell grips to like the ones that wrap around.
Yep.
Yeah. To do pull-ups and to do deadlifts.
And to do deadlifts. Yep. And you stayed very light with cleans and snatches because you just didn't have the grip strength. And when you sent me that video, of course I cried because I'm your wife and I love you to death. And we both were just like, anything is possible.
Yeah.
And for me, that's when I fell in love with CrossFit, because I really did believe that. I did believe, we were kind of, sick of the Globo gyms, sick of just like the lifting and the treadmill and whatever. And that really gave us a sense of like anything is possible.
That first open, I feel like it was a 17 open, and the first workout, I think it was the first workout, was the 50-50-50.
Yep.
AMRAP.
Yep.
50 deadlifts at 155. 50 wall balls,
rowing,
50 cal row,
and
then 50 handstand push-ups. And the fact that I did, I don't think I was ever more proud of myself that I did those 50 deadlifts and then did the 50 cal row and still was able to get into the handstand push-ups. The fact that my grip held on for that, my heart belonged to CrossFit after that.
Yeah.
Belonged to it.
Me too.
Because I couldn't even tie my shoes.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep. And that's when I fell in love with CrossFit. And that's when I really saw the impact and believed in the methodology and believed in the whole concept of CrossFit and the world of CrossFit. And then we jumped in and became huge fans of the sport and looked at the sport very differently. It was very cool to see, as a woman, being able to lift and move your body that way, being told that women aren't supposed to be strong. We're supposed to be skinny. We're supposed
and
to
as a woman, for me, it changed my perception a lot of, I always felt bad because I could just put on muscle and I was just like, I don't look like a girl. Like I can lift one weight and my biceps are humongous. That's just my body genetics.
I joke, you look at a barbell or a dumbbell and your fucking biceps get bigger.
And then you see all these women moving around, doing all these things, having shoulders and traps and lats. And you're like, and I don't even know how to describe it, but it was just something new for me that I didn't see and that I hadn't seen women being proud of.
Yeah.
And they were proud of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is for me.
And they showed off. Yeah. And for me, I came from a dance background. So I was, professionally or classically trained, I guess you could say, in ballet and jazz and everything like that. So I came from a world where you're supposed to be this thin.
And you were that thin.
But I mean,
except for your legs.
I mean, you say I was that thin.
But you were that thin.
But according to the community that I grew up in the dance world that I grew up in, I was not. It was too heavy.
Yeah.
It was too heavy. So then for me, looking at the fact that women were moving weights like that, were muscular, were proud, would show their bodies off and how they felt comfortable doing it, most of them in just sports bras and shorts, and like we're moving all these weights, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
A woman is meant to be strong in whatever capacity that means
for her.
and
Yeah.
whatever that means for her. Yeah. So for me, being a lover of the sport, really got to see it in the other way. And so I know right now it feels like there's a separation of the games and then what Greg's fundamental foundational stuff is. And I don't necessarily think or disagree that there should be a separation of that, because not everybody is coming into CrossFit for the sport of CrossFit. People are coming in for the methodology of CrossFit, for the belief in CrossFit, for the belief in Greg's message. And I feel like, and again, I don't know exactly because we're not in the scoop like that, but I think that Greg was trying to change the focus back on the health of CrossFit.
Yeah.
And the methodology of CrossFit. And what's happening now is that most of the media, most of the conversation is surrounding the individual elite athletes, not the adaptive athletes, not the masters athletes.
You're talking about HQ. That's what
Right.
the HQ media, yeah.
Not the kids.
If they even put out media. Yeah.
Right. But that's my point. And I think that is the struggle as fans of the sport and strong believers in the methodology.
Do you even go to the CrossFit Games IG or their YouTube or whatever to find anything out? Do you even do that anymore? We used to.
No,
we used to though.
Yeah.
And now I don't go to any of that to find out what's actually happening. So
no. I think there needs to be a separation, because I think we always talk about, like, if I'm just going to play soccer for fun, I'm not going to train the same way. I'm not going to be put in the same light as somebody that's trying to be a professional soccer player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, no, there's absolutely two different sides. I just feel like there's a way to coexist without it breaking apart. I was even talking about it. I was like, are we going to start to see, and I have this question too. And I don't know, Jeffrey, if you're still there and you have any insight on this, but I feel like at some point there's going to be some affiliates that are literally just for professional athletes. And so like Mayhem has their professional athletes. They're obviously separate from their, they work out in different places, but they actually have like regular people that just want to move better, eat better, learn how to take care of themselves.
The
Like
roots of CrossFit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that we're coming up with where they're heading is a place where there's going to be just like CrossFit affiliates that are literally just for elite athletes. Like it'll be invite only, kind of like a country club. You know what I mean? Because I was trying to find it somewhere. I wonder. I don't think HWPO is actually a CrossFit affiliate, right? Like,
I don't think.
I don't think they're
either.
affiliated. I think that's just their brand.
Yeah.
And they train nothing but elite athletes.
In their facility, from what it looks like, yes. They do, however, have programming.
Yeah, for
everybody.
Yeah, online programming.
For everybody.
Yeah,
So
it's online. So you have to do it wherever you're at.
Yeah, I don't know if they allow many people to be in that facility.
I don't think
or maybe they do. They just don't promote it on.
Because I always wonder about Training Think Tank too. I think that they have.
I think they have regular
classes.
I just feel like you need to.
But if
you're gonna survive, because think about it. If you're,
I don't know how you. I
don't know how you survive if you don't have people paying to support you so that you can support your athletes.
Because that's the other thing I wonder too. Like, are these camps paying athletes to come to their gym?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too, because I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like when I was listening to part of Ben Bergeron's conversation that he was having, that was part of the conversation where I think that they try to do something along the lines of paying their athletes to train with them. but then it didn't work out or something like that, or the contract was too specific, or maybe there wasn't a contract because it was almost like it was a business idea. And I think once the business idea fell through, like, I feel like that's when everybody left.
Yeah.
Like Katrin left, Amanda left, Chandler left, Sam Quant left, everybody left.
Yeah, I wonder the
It was like something happened and then they all left.
I wonder the ins and outs of that.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering how it survives.
Yeah.
Because you need the elite athletes in your gym to raise your profile and raise your brand.
If you want that, though.
Right.
If you want that.
Yeah, I guess if you're an aspire, yeah, okay.
Like if
Fair.
you want that, I think the everyday athlete, I think the everyday person, ideally, is what I would consider like a 10-year plan. You want someone that lives 5 minutes from you.
Yeah.
That's going to come into your gym every single day, or 5 days a week, or 3 days a week, or 2 days a week, and it's going to be paying your monthly membership for 10 years. Let's just say that. Say they're paying $100 for 10 years. That you want that person to come in. You don't want the athletes that come and stay for a little while. Maybe aren't paying you anything. Maybe you're paying them and then dip when something happens and then go to the next camp. You know, we know some of those athletes that literally just dip when something happens and they go to this camp and then they go to this camp and then they go to this camp and then they go to this camp. So for me, 10-year wise, it makes more sense to get those everyday people because it's
oh yeah.
It's really the everyday people's lives. And I'm not dismissing what CrossFit does for elite athletes. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that for the everyday person that's going to live a long lifestyle, like think about it. If you have someone that goes into the gym.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I absolutely.
But they're going to, so just take us. I go into the gym. I went into boxing. I brought you into boxing. That's 2 people. You know people that you could reach out to that could go to boxing. So now maybe my 1 goes to 5.
Yeah, of course.
I know somebody that, and you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
In the specific area for the affiliates, I think it's beneficial to have the everyday people.
Right. I know. I'm talking about these top, because Proven's now opening their own affiliate. So they're going to have.
I would think that they would have everyday people too.
I'm curious to see how this
slots where it's just elite athletes. But I think that they would.
I'm curious to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah.
But anyway, overall, awesome weekend. I guess this leads us. I mean, we're kind of starting to get back into the CrossFit season anyway. So I'm excited to watch Wadapalooza. Excited to see what Savon's going to pull off because I think Shut Up and Scribble is going to be there doing live shows. So that's cool.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Yeah.
But I'm excited and it was a great weekend and I'm just very grateful for everybody and helping me learn and helping me practice. And I'm just very appreciative. So, if you see this and you want to comment, you want to disagree with me, you want to agree with me, please hit me up anytime. I'm happy to have the conversation. So everybody have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all those good things. Thank you for hanging out with Glint and Things. And we'll catch you later.
We'll see you next year.
Yes.
Or maybe before.
Well, we'll see you before next year. Yes, Jeffrey, I'm grateful for you too, my bro. Thank you very much. You're the biggest help ever. Love you.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.